What is my next marathon goal? What time do I want to achieve after successfully running a sub 250 marathon in April? And what is my project plan to get there? This video, I'm gonna talk about three things. First, I'm gonna share what went well and what can be improved from the project plan that got me to the sub 250 marathon. Second, my new project plan. What is my new goal? The race I signed up for, and now I'm planning to get there. Third, where I am today, my current fitness level and what I'm working on. I'm super excited. Let's go! When I started training for my sub 250 marathon, I did an exercise that I usually do at my job to define the vision, the mission, and the objectives that you want to achieve. Strategy without execution is useless. And writing down exactly what I want to achieve and how I'm going to achieve that helped me a lot to stay focused on the things that matter the most, the thing that could make a difference for me to run the sub 250 marathon. And if I look back at the list and the objectives that I achieved versus the initial plan, the fact that I was able to run the Milan Marathon in April in 2 hours and 46 minutes is a direct consequence of me ticking almost all the boxes. Let's quickly have a look together at what I was able to accomplish, because the old plan will definitely inform the new plan for my new objective. The mission was to dominate the sub 250 marathon. It was not just enough for me to go sub 250, I wanted to run a great sub 250 marathon in full control and with margin. I divided my objectives into 3 areas. The first one was to improve my training. A lot of changes here, starting from the new coach, Andrea Gornati, which probably was one of the most important decisions to get to the mission, but also a major shift in zone 2 focus training, 80-20 ratio, and also increasing the volume, like 5 times per week, sometimes also 6 times per week. I got to some weeks where I was running 100 kilometers. Never done that before, and that had a huge impact on my running economy. And the last one was to do the lactate threshold multiple times. I didn't add that multiple times. The couple of times I did, I was not happy with the results because of external conditions like hot or because of the methodology. And at some point I figured out that I really didn't need that continuous testing. I was able to really understand my condition level based on the results of the training. Second aspect, improve my nutrition. I moved away from other type of gel to the Maurten gels only. Great decision. I took 1 gel every 4 kilometers and I didn't have any issue at all digesting them. I got rid of my old Camelback in order to drink water only at the food stations, and I was planning also to use the sodium tabs from Precision Fuel. I did that a couple of times during the training, but I didn't use them during the race, and that is definitely an area that I need to explore for the next plan. And finally, improving my running form. I changed my running form a lot. So if you compare my running stats from the Zurich 2024 marathon to the Milan 2025 marathon, I'm a completely different person. Run cadence, ground contact time, vertical ratio, everything improved dramatically. I did a lot of exercises in order to improve my running technique. I was really focused on high frequency, 180 beats per minute, short stride, high knees, in one sentence, improve efficiency. And I did it. And this was probably one of the greatest achievements in the last plan. Running form tests, I didn't do that. Reason being, I figured out that many of these tests are run in lab on the treadmill, and I run very differently on the treadmill versus outdoor. And so for me, it was kind of, I wouldn't say pointless, but it was not super useful to do that test, which is also an expensive test, where results would have been biased by the way I run on the treadmill versus. So I just focus on exercises and using my Garmin heart rate monitor to check my running form and all the stats there. The fact that I did tick almost all the boxes got me to the sub 250 marathon in Milan in April 2025. And now let's do the same exercise, but for my next goal. The vision is the same, expressing my fullest potential. I think, and also my coach thinks, that I have room to improve. I don't know how much. The clock is also ticking because I'm 43 years old, but I definitely want to give it a try. The new mission is to run a sub 245 marathon. As you can see, there is a slightly difference versus dominating the sub 250. Reason being, I know that I'm getting into territory where it's a stretch. It's not a given that I will be able to run a sub 245 marathon. So I don't see myself dominating that time and being able to run comfortably sub 245. The objectives, which are the things that I will be focusing on for the next couple of months, are divided into, again, 3 areas. The first one is improve my training. If I want to run a sub 245, I need to improve my speed. My base speed needs to be faster than today. To run the sub 250, I had to build just on top of my base speed, but the speed was there. I knew that I could
run a sub 250 marathon. Now I'm getting into unknown territory, and with my current base speed, I won't be able to run a sub 245 marathon. So that's why I need to focus the first part of my training on base speed. And that's the reason I call this season the summer of speed. A lot of intervals training, 200 meters, 300 meters, 600 meters, 400 meters, you name it, all with objectives of improving my base speed. The second one, of course, which is a direct consequence, is to improve my VO2 max. I need a higher VO2 max as well to run the sub 245 marathon. The base speed is not enough. Then I need to build that ability to sustain a faster speed for an entire marathon. And that means higher VO2 max, something that I will be working on in the second phase of my training. Improve strength. This is a continuation. I started in January with my personal coach, different from my running coach. It's a friend of mine from high school, very expert in strength training. So we're doing remote training over Zoom. Amazing. I'm seeing incredible results, both in my upper body and lower body. I feel much stronger. I will continue doing that. Jumping rope, I haven't done that for the last 20 years probably. It's something that I would like to explore again because it helps a lot runners to have more activity in their feet, to be more reactive and improve overall strength. And finally, uphill runs. Not just sprints, but also like zone 2 runs, doing ups and downs. Here in Zurich, it's perfect. I live near a hill, so I can easily go there, especially during summer when there is no mud or wet terrain. Build up a lot of volume, a lot of easy runs as well, but with ups and downs. And the final one, improve my nutrition. The first one is update my diet. I already had a chat with my nutritionist. I had an old diet from him that was not based on that high volume of training. Now I'm training every day. I needed to adjust that in order to make sure that I have the right fuel and enough calories to sustain and to perform at my best. The second one is I want to be more precise at tracking calories and macronutrients. I want to make sure, again, it's not about losing weight for me, it's about having the right nutrition, the right fuel and the right amount of fuel to perform at my best. I will be using the MyFitnessPal app. It's amazing, super easy to use to log your food. And the third one is electrolytes during the race. As I say, like in the last few kilometers of the marathon, I struggle a bit with cramps and stiff legs. I want to explore options, how to get the right minerals in my body without carrying any additional weight with flask or something like that. This is my plan, and the race I choose is the Valencia Marathon on the 7th of December 2025. I'm super excited. It's new to me to run a marathon at the end of the year. I usually run them in spring, but I choose Valencia because it's super fast, should be perfect temperature as well, and it gives me the option to run another marathon in spring if I want. Where am I today in terms of fitness level? Well, there is a lot to build. This phase for me now, June, July, August, is really the summer of speed. I'm doing lot of short intervals to improve my base speed. And I can see already as soon as I move from 200, 400, 600 meters and I move towards the 1K, 2K, I struggle. I struggle a lot. Why? Because I lost some VO2 max from the peak of the marathon. And also, during summer, VO2 max workouts are definitely tougher than short workouts. But it's a process. Like, I'm focusing now on improving my base speed, and I will give you a full report about how it's going. And then in the next phase, I will tackle VO2 max to get to a place where I can potentially run a sub 245 marathon. And the final part of the training schedule will be all about long runs at marathon pace to check if I'm really able to deliver the sub 245 marathon. I'm super excited about my new mission. I'm super excited about running the Valencia Marathon and bringing you all along the journey with me. We're back. Let's go.